Hey everyone, and first off, brand new background. I'm going to be filming mostly down here. I might film in my room sporadically, but for now I'm going to be in my TV room slash computer room to do most of my videos going forward. For one thing, I just kind of like the blank wall background as opposed to the very uh, distracting background with the TV and the bookcase, and I couldn't get the lighting in my room to match. Only upside is the computers that I generally do my filming on are an iMac and a MacBook Pro. So, I'm just filming right here on my MacBook Pro laptop, and I still can film on my iMac should I need to do something. But anyway, I'm in my computer room, and I'm just going to have set it up like this. I'm probably going to, most likely by the time I edit this video, we're just going to have some images on the side over here, but because the wall is so plain, there's no reason for me to cut it out. That's really why I always cut it out, because I was like, there's no reason for everyone to see the messy room that I have, because my room was pretty messy. Okay, so let's kind of get right into the bread and butter of this discussion. This discussion is based on Moana, and my first question is, who is excited for Moana? I think Moana is going to be a fantastic movie, coming off of Zootopia and Finding Dory. How excited are you for Moana? Another water movie, which is awesome. And this is a movie that I still feel that Disney hasn't marketed 100%, but since Dory and Zootopia are done, they can really focus on Moana for the animated films. Pixar doesn't have anything else coming out, so that's pretty good. The only thing that scares me about Moana is Moana is going to be released around the same time that Doctor Strange and Star Wars Rogue One will come out. So that those coinciding release dates do scare me. But other than that, I think the movie will do fine. I feel that more people will go see Moana or Doctor Strange than Star Wars, but I could be totally wrong. I'm not a very big Star Wars fan, but I'm assuming all the movies will do fantastic, but I think Moana will definitely be another billion-dollar club member. So they released a ton of information about Moana today, and I have a whole list of notes because I thought of a few things as I was preparing this video, and I really wish I could have got this up earlier. But in a few weeks, will be able to get videos. If Disney releases other stuff, um, you know, during the day, I should be able to get it up a lot sooner. But with my schedule right now, it's still a little difficult. So they released nine new characters that are going to be appearing in Moana, which is really, really cool. They did this with Frozen. I think they did this with Monsters University. I forget if they did this with Wreck-It Ralph. I know for a fact they did this with Big Hero 6. So this is pretty cool. So we have a look at what some of these characters are going to look like. We've already seen Maui. We've already seen Moana. We've already seen the pig, which I believe the pig's name is Pua. I have it right here. Yep, we've already seen the pig, Pua, in the teaser trailer. And so now we're going to get, look at Moana's family, the rooster, a possible enemy, and a possible anti-hero in the film, which is pretty cool that the film is doing this. So, or that Disney is giving us so much more information about Moana. I love it. One thing I want to point out is I'm going to totally butcher her name, and I feel really bad about it because she's very pretty, and I like the name a lot. Alui Cavallo is going to be voicing Moana. And I noticed that Moana has a lot of throwbacks to earlier Disney properties. And the first throwback I caught was Moana's production to Cinderella. And it has nothing to do with the casting design. It has to completely, or the casting design, the physical design of Moana. And I have to say, I think Moana is designed so uniquely, and I love it. So what I noticed about Moana's comparison to Cinderella was cast out of 400 different girls auditioned. Elaine Woods eventually got the part of Moana, but what we have here is Alui Cavallo, I think, auditioned out of like 900 girls. So Cinderella came out in 1950, but the movie was in production well before that, and Elaine Woods was going against a ton of other girls, and Alui had to do the same thing. So I really thought that was interesting that Cinderella, a story that a lot of people kind of bash. I don't bash at all. I think Cinderella is a fantastic Disney movie, and I love it. Kind of had the same treatment with the casting of the main protagonist, who also happens to be a princess and who will most likely be joining the Disney Princess franchise. And we'll talk about that at the very end of the video, provided I remember, but I will definitely try to discuss it because I think it's interesting that Moana will joined the franchise when Elsa and Anna had not, and Pocahontas got like a weird reception. Same with Mulan. We'll talk about that very, very end of the film, of this episode. Video. This is a video. I don't do episodes. I'm not a TV series. So another throwback that we have for Moana is going to be created by Ron Clements and John Musker, who are the talents behind The Little Mermaid, Aladdin, Hercules, Treasure Planet, and Princess and the Frog. All awesome movies. Treasure Planet, I think on this list, is the most panned critically and the most unfinancially successful. However, I love the character of Jim Hawkins. I think he's amazing. A lot of people like to ship him with Ariel, and there's a reason why. Because he's a sailor. He's literally her age, and Jim and her work really well, in my opinion. Also, Jim is one of those Disney heroes who's single, kind of like how Jack Frost is single, so he can be shipped with anyone that they want to ship him with. So we have John and Ron working together behind this film. So we have a very similar casting to the 1950s films, and then we have we have the exact guys who were working on the movies from Partola. I was born in '91. I'm a '90s kid, so these are my Disney creators. Now another little bit of a throwback here is we have the composer is Mark Manzanilla, and he scored Brother Bear and Tarzan. I was not a very big fan of Brother Bear, but I loved Tarzan. I think Tarzan has a great score, and I think Phil Collins is awesome at singing, Son of Man and You'll Be in My Heart. So we get another throwback to Tarzan here. So like everything seems to be coming together from the 90s in order to give Moana this really, really, really fresh feel. And we have the image of Moana up here, which has been up here for a few minutes for you guys to really get the full idea of what she looks like. And I have to say, the way that Moana looks, she looks very, very unique. I know a lot of people were complaining when Elsa and Anna came out that Elsa and Anna pretty much look like, Rapunzel's sisters. They could be her sisters, which is an interesting idea. I think that whole comparison with them being cousins was crazy, and I actually totally believe it, and I think it could work. But Moana looks different. She's more real. And another thing that came out earlier was Moana is going to be single. She's not going to have a love interest, which I think is actually very, very, very practical. Now, with Cinderella, she obviously did have a love interest. It was the time the movie was made. I think that fairy tale romance idea works really well for Disney. I think it's a great idea. So Moana is a lot more realistic, and not only her design. If you watch Whitney Avalon's Princess Rap Battle, where Snow White battles Elsa, which is essentially modern versus classic, Snow White says to Elsa, "You're a copy of a copy," which means she's a copy of Elsa. Elsa is a copy of Rapunzel, who is in essence a copy of Anna, or excuse me, Elsa is a copy of Anna, who is in essence a copy of Rapunzel. So like, Moana is not a copy of anything. She is unique and original, and she's only 14, voiced by a 14, 15-year-old, and I love that idea that, they're kind of sticking true to the voice actors. Not that every voice actor who has to voice a character has to be married or unmarried, in order to do the job. But I really like the fact that, she's voiced by a young girl who probably doesn't want to get married right now or isn't even thinking about it. And Moana herself, it's not even on her mind. In fact, what's on Moana's mind is she wants to be the most impressive wave rider, which is a really cool idea. She wants to, I'm assuming, ride the waves, be a very good sailor. So she has her own ambitions, her own goals. She also wants to save her family's village from destruction, which Disney movie destruction, why would you know? Why would they not do it? So I like the fact that they're keeping Moana to be very, very realistic, and she also looks gorgeous. I love the picture that we have up of Moana. I think she just looks so fantastic. I really love how she has this really cool oar. I love the background of her as well. I mean, I want to go back to the Polynesian Hotel. This is like saying, come visit the Polynesian Hotel because we are going to have Moana. I really hope that Disney decides to reopen the Lilo and Stitch franchise and somehow cross them over in like a goofy way. If you remember, Stitch was able to come into the world of Aladdin. He came into the world of Beauty and the Beast. He came into the world of The Lion King, I believe, and he definitely came to the world of The Little Mermaid. So it'd be hysterical to me if they decided to bring Stitch into Moana. So that's a very, very, very long backstory, and what's going to be happening with Moana herself. I really just love this design. I hope that this is like her promotional poster for the movie, because she looks epic. She looks really awesome, really powerful, really fierce. I love her hair. I think her hair looks really, really cool, very lifelike. I also love the color of her skin. I love that, like the Polynesian look, that the Polynesian color, but also it's like a nice tan. As someone who is chalk white, I'm envious of her tan skin. It's pretty awesome looking. The outfit is really cool looking. The water is so lifelike and realistic. I love the way the water looks. It's amazing. And I am really looking forward to seeing what else Disney has in store for Moana. So now the next piece of art that we have is Dwayne Johnson's Maui. And he has a really cool stick, a scepter, very similar to what Moana's holding. And I think he looks pretty cool. He's beefy. He's a demigod. I don't have too much to say about it. I feel like I talked a lot about Dwayne Johnson's character in my teaser trailer reaction. There's been two trailers from Moana where I talked about the rock in detail, and I think Maui looks awesome. I actually like the fact that he's on lots of rocks. Maybe a little homage to the rock himself. So I think he looks really cool, and I like the fact that both him and Moana and their promotional photos are holding weapons. So I think this is a really cool concept art and a really cool final character running model. The tattoos are awesome, and he has amazing hair just as well. Oh, also, one more thing that I completely forgot to mention, and I just wanted to discuss it very, very, very fast in regards to the music of the film. As I said, Mark Mancina is going to be doing the score. He's also doing the score with Opitia Foley, which is pretty cool, and he's also working with Lin-Manuel Miranda, and Opitia and Lin-Manuel have quite extensive resumes. Unfortunately, they're not a lot of stuff that I have listened to or seen, but I trust Disney. Lin-Manuel Miranda is going to be working on Mary Poppins Returns, which is going to be the Mary Poppins starring Emily Blunt. So clearly, Disney is already impressed with the score of Moana that they already gave him Emily. They already gave him the Mary Poppins movie. So I think that's really, really cool. So I really love. I love this. I think they have a great cast of a great production crew behind them. They have an awesome director, awesome writer, awesome directors, I should say, and awesome people behind the music. They even have a very realistic voice cast. I think Moana Ali will work really well with Dwayne Johnson's The Rock, just because you feel the realness, but you also can feel the fantasy. Now, there is one thing I do want to say before I get into the other stuff, and I realize this video is already at the 12-minute mark, and I don't want to make it 20 because I think 20 minutes to discuss promotional photos is ridiculous. I don't know any of the voice actors except for one for the new characters that they're going to have for Moana, which is a good thing for me. I like watching an animated film and not knowing the voice acting or the voice actors. I think it's very distracting. I think DreamWorks/Universal does that a lot, and it causes a problem with my viewership of it. The only one I never really had a problem was with Jack Black as Poe Panda, but other than that, I generally have issues with it. And I'm really glad that I don't know who these actors are, which works well to my benefit. If you guys know who these are and any of these actors, and you have special opinions of them, please let me know, and we'll discuss their work in the comments below. So now let's look at the image of Moana's mother and Moana's father. Now her father's name is Tui, and her mother's name is Sina. Now, I like the fact that Moana is getting both a mother and a father, but at the same time, I heard that Moana is going to be only with her dad, which I don't like that, because the description of her mother is really nice. It says it's a woman, Sina always has her daughter's back, and she always wants to protect Moana. So I really hope that Sina doesn't protect Moana and ends up dying. As great as that would be for, like, a hero sacrifice, I like the fact when Disney princesses get to keep their parents. I think that just makes the character even stronger, even more relatable. I get the whole sympathetic thing of a princess or a character being an orphan or not having one parent, but I really just hope that Moana gets to keep her mother and her father. Her father is voiced by Tempera Morrison, who is Chief Tui, and I'm wondering if he's going to embody the traits of Chief Bohannon from Pocahontas. He's most likely going to be caring, protective, very much like the mother, but probably the mother Sina, who's voiced by Nicole Strangezinger, is going to be more on her daughter's side. So I'm looking forward to seeing these characters fleshed out, and I'm just hoping that the mother doesn't get the axe that Disney generally loves to do to mothers. Also, the background of these two characters is amazing. Again, they look very, very, very real, like real parents, which I love. The father's a little bigger, the mother's short. I love the skin colors. I love how the father has tattoos like Maui. I also like the ankle bracelets that he's wearing, and I think the clothes are epic looking. I mean, visually, this movie is stunning. It has so many great visuals that you're just like, I need to see this. I need to kind of eat this film up. I love how there's a hut in the background over here. I'm wondering if that's where they're going to be living. And it looks like there's like an arena or some type of netting way over there. on the right of them, and I like that as well. So I'm really curious, like what that'll have to do with the plot of the film. But I love the way her parents look. I think they're excellent looking. So her parents look great, and I really hope her mother gets to stay alive. Now this is a very interesting character, and it gives me a Mulan throwback. Now Mulan was not worked on by Ron and John, but Mulan, gets to have a grandmother and a mother and a father, and she gets to have Moana gets to have Grandma Tala. Now Grandma Tala's description is very, very, very nice. She is Moana's confidant and best friend. She's also voiced by Rachel House, again an actress that I don't know much about. I love the grandma's look. She looks friendly. She kind of reminds me of Grandma Willow a little bit. Grandma Fa in Mulan, she's very short. She's drawn comically. This one seems like she could have some comical moments. Grandma Fa in Mulan kind of reminded me of Grandma Odie a little bit from Princess and the Frog. But here, or I guess reverse that. I guess Mama Odie reminded me of Grandma Fa. But I feel that the grandma is going to have like a little bit of comedic value from the witch from Brave, but at the same time, she's going to be very friendly, very warm, and compassionate, just like Grandmother Willow from Pocahontas. So I really love the fact that Moana gets a best friend who's a grandmother. I think having characters that have human confidants and people confidants in Disney movies works out quite well to the development of all the characters and to the more development of more human characters in Disney. Also, again, just another glamorous background by the company. So I love the idea that her mother could be her best friend is double thumbs up. So the next thing, or the next person to discuss is Jermaine Clement is going to be the voice of Timota. Now Timota kind of reminds me of Sebastian. He is a 50-foot long, self-absorbed crab that lives in the realm of monsters, which is called Leitoiai. Now, I'm assuming that Moana and Maui, when they go on their adventure, they end up in Leitoiai, and they probably end up meeting Tamatoa. And I'm assuming at first he's going to be antagonistic. He's probably not going to want to help them. Maybe Moana is going to have to deal with like the wrath of the sea at some point, and he comes back to help them. He seems to have like he seems to definitely have an antagonistic look to him, but he doesn't seem to be a villain. He's just self-absorbed. Self-absorbed generally doesn't mean evil. But he does live in the realm of monsters, so he could be the film's villain. But I feel that to go from stuff that's so realistic to go to a crab being your film's antagonist just really kind of takes you away. I feel like having the ocean end up being the bad guy, or the ocean being angered by Moana's betrayal, if that's what happens, would be much more interesting. So I really love. I don't love the crab idea because I just don't know too much about it. But I'm assuming the crab is going to end up helping Moana. We have 3 more characters to discuss, and then we're all done with this video, and we're definitely going to the 20-minute mark to discuss Moana. Wow, that's wild. So the next character to look up is Pua. Pua is Moana's pet pig with dog-like characteristics, very similar to Maximus, and Sven from Tangled and Frozen. Moana is going to be getting a dog-like character, but that is in fact another completely different animal. And I think Pua looks super cute. I think people would definitely want a plushie of Pua. They probably would want a plushie of Moana and Pua together. So I really love the way that Pua looks. I think having a pig is really cute, but also a little ironic with the Disney franchise because pigs are eaten in Hawaiian culture all the time. So maybe Moana's tribe is vegetarian or only eats seafood. But either way, I really love the way that Pua looks here. I think he's just so cute. So we get 2 more characters to quickly look at, and the next one is the Kakamora, an intense team of crazy coconut armored pirates who will stop at nothing to get what they want. These seem to be like minor antagonists that maybe they're the ones who are going to make the sea go batshit and go after Moana and Maui. I think these guys again look a little unrealistic. See, the film has like these great realistic qualities that when it goes to like goofy characters like this, it kind of takes me out of it. When we talk about the rooster at the end of the video, I think the rooster looks really cool, and I love his comedic backdrop that he has. But I think that these guys were kind of shoehorned into last minute to be comical villains. I mean, overall, not too impressed with them. I'm curious to see what you guys have to say about the Kamamora. I mean, they look cool animated, but to me, they look very cool. Don't get me wrong, but they seem more of a Pixar type character than anything else. And last thing to look at is Hihei, or Hihei. Hihei is going to be voiced by none other than Alan Tudyk. Alan Tudyk did King Candy in Wreck-It Ralph. He did the Duke of Weselton in Frozen, and he's done a couple other characters. He seems to be Disney's very, very good, very, very amazing luck charm. Every movie that he's been in has been very successful. He was one of the rats that Judy Hopps chased in Zootopia. So I'm really curious to see what the rooster is going to be doing. Now the rooster is classified as a dumb rooster, and he stows away on Moana's boat, and he probably he's probably going to end up being extremely goofy, and I think that's fine. Having him and Pua as a team together will probably be fun. Pua will probably be more animal-like, and this one will probably be just more goofy. Not all animals are stupid, so Pua is probably going to be like her dog that will support her, and this dude is just going to be like, eh. Anyway, I think having Alan Tudyk at least doing the crow voices is a very smart idea, so I like that a lot. Again, the water behind the bird is so amazing. So last thing I want to talk about, and I remembered, was adding Moana to the Disney Princess franchise. Now, Disney princesses are relatively all princesses, but Mulan and Pocahontas are not. Now, Mulan just, had got honor from the emperor, and Pocahontas has no royal ties whatsoever. So the question here is, how can Moana? Moana is the daughter of a chief. Does being a daughter of a chief give you royal blood? And the most likely the answer is no, but they want to add her because she's going to be strong, she's going to be independent, she's going to be brave, and she embodies all the qualities of a Disney princess. And I think a lot of people were conflicted with Moana, Mulan, and Pocahontas being added, but I think they deserve to be in the princess franchise. I really feel that Disney should drop the word princess and just add and make it like the Disney girls and Disney guys, or like the heroines franchise. But at the same time, I understand why it exists. It makes money. People love crossing it over, myself included. So Moana seems to be in the same predicament of Pocahontas as both their daughters from Chief. In fact, Moana kind of gives off, to me, a look of both Pocahontas and Mulan, and I love it because I think Mulan and Pocahontas are beautiful, beautiful animated characters. So I'm really curious, what do you guys think about Moana being added to the franchise? What do you think of all these characters? What do you think about their roles in the film? What do you think about their voice actors? What do you think about the score behind the film? And are you getting throwbacks? I wish they released this on a Thursday, because this is definitely a Throwback Thursday type video. So anyway, thank you so much for checking out my Meet the Cast of Moana type video. I think Moana has a lot of potential, and it's going to be awesome. Hopefully we'll get one more trailer real soon that we'll do another watch me type video, which I think will be fun. And hopefully you guys will share your feedback about the new background. I think it's better lighting. I think it's good. I think I'm going to keep it like this. All right, we'll talk soon. Bye.